So
Exactly.
you've got here, most AI work being sold today won't survive 2027.
Yeah.
Let's unpack that.
Yeah. So I part of this is it always goes back to the value, right? And being way more sophisticated up front and comprehensive up front about whatever you're about to build. Cool, you can build it quickly, amazing. Okay, great. But whatever you're about to build, is it actually is there a business case for it that makes sense, right? Or does it just sound like a nice to have project? Does it sound like a fun experiment? Or does it sound like a bolt-on thing that like you're like, oh, I think my customers might like, or oh, I think my team's gonna like this, you know? Oh, I'm gonna build this like second brain for my company, which is great for most companies, but a lot of times people don't even like use the second brain for the company. They still just go and toggle to Google Drive or like Google Meets and ping the person for the information, and they don't actually habit change into using this thing. And so now it's just sitting there on the shelf getting very small utilization, and you have the executive saying, use our thing, use our thing. And it's like, okay, well, maybe you should have spent some time up front to figure out, like, do people actually want to use a chatbot to pull information? Is there a better way to do this? Whenever they're pulling information, what are they pulling it for? What workflow are they executing at the time for why they need that? Can we just collapse that entirely? And then you start to dig into like really first principles about like what's the purpose of this data? Why does it need to move here? Who needs to see it? What are people reasoning on it about or making decisions on it about, right? And then when you do that, you start to uncover like one, a lot of inefficiencies, but two, just a lot of bloat in tools that people are using and systems that people build, right? And so the purpose of this slide is mainly to say like a more holistic approach that's very, very focused on the business case and producing like real outcomes is going to be sustainable. Whereas like bolted on glue or solutions or features or whatever, those things are going to be less and less valuable because they're just not going to be needed anymore. And, whether it's the best thing ever and it actually works and, you get the output 100% accurate every time, it doesn't matter. It's just not going to be needed because the workflow itself will collapse and no one's going to have to actually talk to your second brain chatbot anymore, right? And I just want to say, like, those are still valuable. Let me say, those are still valuable, but sometimes you just don't need that, right? So